Hey tribe, what's up? For this video, have a drink with me, okay? Now if you want to pause this video, go make you a drink, pause it, come back, and we'll have a drink together, okay? But in this video, we're going to talk about having no friends and having no job, okay? And we're going to talk about both of them. I'm going to give you what to do, what should you be doing if you have no friends, and what should you be doing if you have no job, okay? Fair? And I'm Chad, by the way. Welcome to Live Life on Your Terms. And before we get started here, if you want to be part of the tribe, the best tribe on planet YouTube, baby, the links are in the description. And if you want to work with me, the links are in the description, of course. But let's talk about this, okay? And I don't mean to undermine what you're going through. Because I've been there, baby. Okay, I've been there where you feel like you have no friends, nobody likes you, nobody wants to hang out with you. And, I've been in several situations where I have no job and I start flipping out because I have no job and money's not coming in. Okay, so trust me, I know kind of how you feel when you're in that situation. But let's talk about having no friends, okay? I mean, you're really in a prime spot to work on you, baby. You understand? I know this might not be what you want to hear, but just listen to me here for a second. Is when you're constantly searching for friends, you're constantly in a state like, why me? What's happening is you're causing friction. You're trying to force things to happen. You're trying to force an outcome. Do you understand? So when you're trying to force an outcome, all that does is create friction. And what does friction do? It repels everything from you. It repels people from you. It repels things from you. If you're trying to manifest a great life, well, it stays away from you. Okay? Just because you give off this needy energy, and this needy energy isn't attractive. So that's why I tell you, you're in a great situation where focus on you, work on you. You understand? Even for me, like right now, I'm up in Thailand. We're up in Surin. And we've been up in Surin for a year and a half, baby. A year and a half. The whole time I've been up here, I literally feel like I'm isolated. I've been doing a lot of identity work up here, okay? But I literally feel isolated. I don't have nobody to talk to except for Aang. I have no buds to hang around, you know what I mean? So I have a different dynamic what's going on, but I feel the same way. And that's why I'm telling you, you got to work on you, okay? What are your career aspirations? What are your career goals? What do you want to achieve? Okay? And I know you don't have a job. We'll talk about that in a second. What do you want to achieve career-wise? You see, you have to be able to put a dent in the universe. What do you want to achieve personally? What are your goals personally? You understand? That's what you should be focused on. What do you like to do? What are your hobbies? And maybe right now you're so much in that gunk phase, you don't even know what your hobbies are because you've neglected yourself for so long. That's why I say you got to focus on you. You got to focus on what you like to do. Like when you're not going out with somebody and you feel like you have no friends, this is the perfect opportunity to work on Chad, to do what Chad likes. I can plan my whole day, 24 hours a day, 7 days a week, and do only what I like to do. Look at it like that. Okay. Start getting back involved with hobbies, stuff you like to do. You understand? And listen, once you start focusing on you, once you start focusing on what you like to do, even if you're a gamer, maybe you like movies, you like to watch TV, do those things. Do more things that you love to do. And it's so amazing what happens when you focus on you and you just really forget about not having any friends, forget about you're not going out with anybody. What amazing thing will happen is all of a sudden, out of the blue, somebody will somebody want to hang out with you. Okay? Out of the blue, you could just be sitting there. You've totally forgot about it. You're at Starbucks having a coffee, and somebody just comes up and randomly starts talking to you. Do you understand? Because you're focusing on you. Remember, everything is from within. Everything is from within out. Okay? There's so much power in this. Listen, I tell everybody in the manifesting realm, you want to know, I don't want to get off on a manifesting rant. Okay, I won't. But this implies or applies, if I use the right word, is that you know what speeds up manifesting? It's just having fun, enjoying life. So the same thing for you. Have fun. Enjoy life. Let go of the gunk. Let it be. Accept it. Okay? Accept the fact that you have no friends. You understand? It's honestly like once I accept it, once I surrender to it, things flip rather quickly, my friends. Okay? Now let's talk about, well, Chad, I have no job. I have no friends and no job, a double duty. Okay. And I could probably assume if you have no job, you have tremendous worry, doubt, and fear. Okay. You're trying your hardest to get a new job. You wake up every day. You might be submitting all types of resumes. You might be doing phone interviews, in-person interviews, and nothing seems to be working. Okay. I've been there and done that, baby. Trust me. Okay. I know 100% what I'm talking about with this. Okay. Because if you're struggling with this, you're probably a lot like me. You understand? Like when I don't have, I'm a hard worker, baby. You understand? When I don't have, I work 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. I work 14-hour days. From the time I wake up at 5 in the morning, I'm working until I'm going to bed at 8 at night. You understand? Okay. But what you have to understand, that creates friction again. We're talking about that word friction. What's friction? You're trying to force things to happen. Okay. But this is what I want you to do. And this is very clear instructions when you don't have a job. Okay. Now remember back and think back when you did have a job. What was your routine? I want you to think. I know you can't answer me. I wish you could. What was your routine? Okay, for example, a lot of us work days. Sometimes people work depending upon your career. Sometimes it's second shift, third shift. But let's assume you work first shift. You know, you work from 8 to 4, 8 to 5, 9 to 6, whatever. Okay, what's your routine like? Okay, so for example, my routine could be I wake up at 6 in the morning. I get up. I go take a shower. While I take a shower, my coffee is making. When I get out of the shower, I'm drinking my coffee. I'm getting dressed, brushing my teeth, doing all that jazz. Maybe you get up in plenty of time where you can actually sit down and enjoy your coffee. Then you get in the car, you drive to work. Now, what's your routine at work? What's your routine? When do you take breaks at work? Maybe you take a break at 10 a.m. What do you do at 10 a.m.? You know what I mean? I'm giving you some cheesy stuff. Maybe at 10 a.m., I go to my favorite donut shop and I buy my donut. You know what I mean? And I'll take it back to the office. When do you take lunch when you had a job? Listen, guys, you might be thinking, well, Chad, get to the flipping point. Okay? You need to do this exercise. This is going to change your life, baby. Okay? What time do you take your lunch? You take it at noon, 1 p.m.? Do you get a half hour or an hour? What do you do during your lunch? I know that's a kind of a cheesy question. What do you do? Some people go eat lunch. Sometimes they pack lunch. Sometimes they go out to lunch. Sometimes people don't even eat. Sometimes they go to the gym. You understand? What do you do at lunchtime when you had a job? After lunch, of course, you go back to work. When do you take another break? Okay. What do? You take a break at 2 p.m. What do you do? Maybe you take a little nap, cat nap, whatever. I just want you to mentally picture what you're doing. Then what time do you get off work? You get off work at 4, 5, 6. What do you do after work? Do you drive straight home? Do you drive straight to the gym and work out? You understand? What do you do? Do you drive to the park and maybe take a walk? What do you do? Okay. And then when you finally get home, what do you do when you finally get home? Okay. Now, if you really sat through this video and you really listened to me asking you questions like you should have been, this is the whole point. Listen, this is the breakthrough what's going to happen to you. When you don't have a job, you need to model your day just like you had a job. That's what you need to do. You need to model your day just like you had a job. Okay? Because look at it this way. Right now, you're in a gunk phase. Nothing is working. You're not modeling your day like you had a job. You literally just get up anytime you want to. When you get up, you're depressed. You know, your whole day's off whack because all you're doing is saying subconsciously you don't have. This is why I'm telling you, you need to model your day just like you have a job. Okay? So, what would that look like? This is what I mean. Is if you wake up at 6 a.m. every morning when you have a job, what do you think I'm going to tell you? What am I going to tell you? You need to get up at 6 a.m. Okay? You need to mimic your day. If you get up at 6 a.m., you take a shower, and how you dress when you have a job, you dress professional, casual professional. Listen, you get up at 6 a.m., you take your shower. While you're taking your shower, your coffee is making. When you get out, you start drinking your coffee. You dress just like you're getting ready for your job. Okay? Then if you leave for work at 8 a.m., you leave for work at 8 a.m. Okay, now you're not going to drive to your work, but what you're doing is mimicking your day. Okay, maybe instead of staying home and submitting resumes, worrying, you're leaving. You're going to your favorite coffee shop. Okay, listen, guys, even if you have no money, most of the time you can find a place. You can go to the park, you can go to the coffee shop. They'll let you sit there and not buy anything. You understand? Like in most places are not like looking and be like, oh my God, he didn't buy his black coffee. You understand? You mimic your day. Then when you go there, you check your email, see what's anything happening, see if you need to respond to anything, you submit some resumes. That's it. When it's 10 a.m., when you're ready for a break, guess what? You take a break, just like you would at work. Then you come back, you do the same thing. At noon, 1, whenever you take your lunch, you go to lunch. You try to mimic as best as you can that you go to lunch. Okay? Whatever you do, you went to the gym, stuff like that, you do exactly what you would do at lunch. If you took a nap at lunchtime, I know a lot of people sometimes like they just sit back on the desk, take an hour nap. They don't even eat. Sometimes they go to the gym. Sometimes they go out in their car and take a nap. If that's what you did, you do that. You understand? Then you go back to work. And you mimic it. You do the same thing if you took a break at 2 p.m. or 3 p.m. What did you do? You mimic it. Then you go back to, I'll check my emails. Maybe a couple people call you. You answer your phone. Okay? Then listen, guys, when your day is done, let's say you got off at work at 4 p.m. At 4 p.m., you get off work, you stop. Okay, just like you had a job. You stop looking. Okay, you stop submitting resumes, you stop. You understand? Then you continue with your day just like you would if you had a job, no matter what you did. If you just came home, you made dinner, watched TV, watch a movie, that's what you do. You understand? Okay? And listen, guys, this really works because what you're doing is when you're going through all these actions like you have, like nothing changed, it's you're subconsciously telling your subconscious that you already have. You already have a job. You understand? So once you subconsciously tell yourself that I already have, well, it's going to come to you, and it's going to come to you rather quickly. And a bonus here, okay, we'll give you a bonus, so I want to help you out. You might be thinking, well, Chad, what would you do when you go to an interview? Like nowadays, what's popular, I just know what's popular in the States is lots of times they do phone screeners and stuff like that. You do like a phone interview before they bring you in person. You know, you might be doing a lot of phone screener interviews, in-person interviews. You know what I mean? They might send you something over email, want you answer questions. Listen, I want you to answer everything like you already have a job. Don't bend. Don't bend your standards and boundaries and non-negotiables. You got to act like you have a job. Okay? Let me give you an example to this. Okay? Now listen. If I already have a job and I'm job searching, I have a lot of friends that do that. The thing is if I already have a job and I'm interviewing for a job, I'm going to come off more confident because I already have. I don't need it. Okay? But most importantly is, it's not the confidence. Most importantly is, I'm going to have standards and boundaries and non-negotiables when I go through an interview. Listen to this. Like if the salary is below what I'm making right now, of course I want to say no. I'm going to be polite, but I'm going to say, well, no, I'm making this right now. It doesn't make sense for me to move on. And they say, okay, and we end the interview. Okay, I might be more direct and to the point. Before I go through the whole interview, I might even say, hey, I'm making this. You know, how much does it pay? Or how much is the salary or whatever? And they might come back and say, well, we can't pay that much. And I say, well, okay, but I don't want to waste your time. Let's end this because it doesn't make sense to move forward. Okay, listen how I'm talking. I'm talking from a place I already have. That's what you need to do. Don't bend your standards and boundaries. Okay, don't be picking garbage up off the ground. You understand? Okay, you stay with your same standards. Okay, and another thing I can tell you, I've been through this back in the day where I'm going through it in an on-phone interview. And I remember one time I'm interviewing with the HR director. This was my second interview at the point. I interviewed with the person like searching. It was a big company. The person that was searching. I passed through her. Then I had an interview with the HR director, the head of HR. Okay, then once I passed through her, she gave me to the actual hiring manager, like in the department. So I'm on my second interview on the phone. Dude, she's being rude with me. You understand? Like, and she wasn't downright nasty, but she's being rude. You know, like when I start asking, like, well, like she would ask me what my salary requirements are, and I would flip it and I would say, you know, what's the budget for the position? And she would literally just be rude with me. She would literally just be like, well, I don't have to tell you the budget of the position, but you need to tell me, because if you don't tell me, then I'm not going to pass you forward to the hiring manager. She was just rude. Okay. When people's rude to you, well, you stop the interview. That's what I did. I just stopped the interview. I just said, well, you know what? I forget her name. I don't really like your tone. You're really just being rude with me. And you're really just kind of really just let me know that I don't want to work there. Okay. I don't want to work there because everybody's going to act like you. I'm sorry, but it's true. So I'm just going to end this interview. Okay. Because you're just wasting my time and I'm wasting your time. And I ended the interview. I've done that many times where people they're indirectly putting you down, or they're indirectly just being rough with you. And I just say, hey, look, you're being rude. And sometimes they backpedal. Sometimes they say, no, I'm not being rude. And they try to like defend themselves. I'm like, no, indirectly you're being rude. I'm listening to you. Okay. So I've already made up my mind that I don't want to work with you. Okay? So at this point, you're wasting my time and I'm wasting your time. So why don't we just end the interview? But not end the interview. I take control of it. Okay? Because why? Because I have standards and boundaries and non-negotiables. You should too. Okay? The issue what we do, guys, is that when we don't have something we think we need, and when we need, we end up bending our standards and boundaries and non-negotiables. But when we bend our standards and boundaries, okay, for one, that's what makes it hard for stuff to come into our life, because we're not acting like we normally would act, okay, if we truly have what we wanted. Okay, that's what you got to get out of it. But the second thing is it makes you look more confident. You understand? If I'm willing to walk away, it makes you look more confident. Okay? And it doesn't waste your time. You move on way quicker. You understand, my friends? But other than that, tribe, just want to share those thoughts with you. I thought this was a talk I just wanted to have, the talk I was kind of in a mood to have with you. And like always, if you need help with this, if you're struggling a little bit deeper, comment below. Charlie, help me out as much as possible. And if you want to be part of the tribe, like I said in the beginning of the video, the best tribe on planet YouTube, baby. The links are in the description. If you want to reach out to me or work with me, the links are in the description. And remember I love you, but also remember, dude, it's going to work out, baby. Everything you're going through in your life right now, you're going to come out on the other side. You're going to come out the winner, okay? Life is happening for your benefit, okay? Just accept it. I know it's hard, but just accept what your circumstances are. The sooner you accept it, the quicker you'll move through it. I'm really being honest with you here. The quicker you can accept, the quicker you move through the gunk phase. Okay, my friends? But other than that, remember, guys, I love you, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.